This is the real winning edge. It's a diver whose most difficult dive was not into the water. A young artist who chooses to sing and dance to a positive tune rather than the negative ones. A track athlete who works hard to overcome the struggles caused by her adoption. Introducers Kelsey Bryant, the Newsboys, and Allison Felix. This is How to Overcome.
I'm Paul Antonano. See how you can overcome when life gets tough.
Hi, I'm Lisa Leslie. Find out how to have the real winning edge over life's challenges.
Coming up, she lost so much, but she gained much more.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Bryant. Before I won my place on the Olympic podium, there were many moments where I felt defeated. But I was blessed to have people in my life who didn't let me stay that way. Encouragement can take us from setbacks to success. That's why I'm proud to introduce to you a young woman who surely could have stayed in defeat. But the people around her encouraged her to overcome her challenges. Now, she makes it her goal to help others with the right kind of encouragement. She has what we call the real winning edge. My boyfriend was driving and my two friends were in the back, and we were hit from behind by somebody who had been drinking and also texting. And our car flipped twice and hit two trees. I got thrown under my seatbelt, under the glove compartment, wrapped in metal, and I was stuck in there for over 2.5 hours. When they brought me to the hospital, they weren't sure if I was gonna survive. It took me quite a long time to really get good at diving. I started competing when I was about the age of 12, not just practicing. And I would go to USA diving meets and AAU diving meets. What I like about diving is flipping and the rush of being in the air. You can get away from all your problems during it.
Bailey Wind was a diver that had been to my diving camp for a couple of years back when she was in high school, and had shown quite a bit of potential, and I really liked her character. The
past 5 years I've been competing at nationals all around the United States and have finished in at least top 10. So there's a bunch of different categories that you have to compete and do as diving. My favorite dive is the inward category. It's where you stand backwards with your back facing the water, but you go towards the board. An inward dive is just, you do a dive, and then inward 1.5 is where you do a flip into a dive, and then inward 2.5 is you do 2 flips into a dive.
Well, she was renowned really for her grace and fluidity and her, what we call lines in the sport of diving.
To prepare for our diving, we do things outside the pool. We do a bunch of flips on the trampoline to prepare us for being in the water.
What I like about Bailey most is probably her personality. She can light up a room no matter where she goes. She's always want to crack a joke or make you smile if you're having a bad day. She's the one that will definitely lift you up. And she always puts others' needs before hers.
In junior high, I didn't have a lot of friends. I was bullied quite a bit. And I had really low confidence. I've gained from being in diving definitely confidence in myself, realizing that I can do something so challenging on my own. I've also learned courage. It's definitely scary at times. I've also learned obedience, where you have to listen to a coach. December 1st, I was in a terrible car accident. Somehow the driver behind us that hit us got underneath my boyfriend's car and flipped it twice, hitting 2 trees, and that's what stopped our car from continuing rolling. And I was trapped in the car in a fetal position. I was in and out of consciousness. In a way, it felt like a dream. It didn't feel real. It was just extremely confusing. I just remember holding the responder's hand. I heard my friend in the back seat yelling. He also survived.
Bailey was involved in a rather severe motor vehicle accident prior to coming to UT. She actually sustained 3 fractures, or 3 different bones in her neck, the C1, C5, and C7 vertebrae. Perhaps the biggest fracture there was that C7 vertebrae, which they described as a burst fracture.
For my neck, they gave me surgery. I have a titanium plate in my neck and 2 titanium plates in my jaw. Also needed surgery for my jaw, and I've had over 10 mouth surgeries. So it's been a long process. People were telling me that they were sending their prayers through messages or through tweets. Once I got home, I was kind of shocked about the outpouring of support and prayers I was getting. And it definitely brought me to where I am today, and I still get prayers even to this day.
I don't think any of us really understood the effects of it until she came to school, and she was kind of a different person.
There were certainly days and sometimes more, weeks where she would go through very, very tough challenges where she would be very much down on herself. And at the time it was very, very difficult and difficult for her teammates around her who could see the struggle that she was going through.
I know that she became a lot closer with God after the accident, and it's really helped. It's been a big part of her recovering and getting through it all.
The loss of my boyfriend and my close friend, it was definitely difficult. I definitely gained strength from my accident. I also gained confidence because I was at such a low point, so hurt physically and mentally. But I've learned to really push forward through every day.
You look at her and you wouldn't think that one bad thing has happened to her, because she's always, very, very happy and positive, and she's just all around a great person, and I really enjoy her company.
I decided to major in communications here at the University of Tennessee. I definitely think it's challenging to balance diving and studies.
She went from being very conservative, perhaps even on borderline withdrawn, to finding her voice, where she became the leader in the classroom.
My public speaking teacher said that I can make a big impact on other people, and a school actually reached out to me.
Bailey has been an incredible influence on everybody here. I mean, she's touched a lot of people with her story, the young high school students that she's gone back and spoken to and that type of thing, and I couldn't be more proud of her.
She's wanting to reach out and help our community and educate high school and college students about how alcohol can negatively impact students' lives is really, really important.
My advice to young people is to think before you act, because your actions can really make a big impact on someone else's life. My faith has grown throughout since the accident. I consider myself a miracle in the way God works, and you just have to wait and be patient with Him, and things will work out in the end. What gives me the real winning edge is the pouring of support I have from the community. Not just my friends and my family keep me going, and just God's power to help me get through every day. And their prayers just really have pushed me forward even to this day.
Next, he writes beat music to inspire.
Hey guys, we're the News Boys.
We got the name because the songs we sing are good news for our audience. In a very negative world, focusing on the positives is the best way to go about life.
This is a position the young man we're introducing to you has taken.
He hasn't had an easy life. He's had his share of big hurts and disappointments.
Yet instead of dwelling on it, he has moved past it and is focusing on fulfilling his hopes and dreams.
He has what we call the real winning edge.
My father left when I was about 4 months old, and growing up raised by a single mother has had to be hard for both of us, you know, knowing that there's someone out there that you're missing as a part of your life, especially someone like your father, you know, who's supposed to be the father figure, and the foundation is to you becoming a man. Music has always been a part of my life. You know, whenever I step in the recording studio, I'm able to just give it my all. To go into a dance studio and create choreography, it's something that I've always loved to do. It's an amazing feeling. When I really started singing and dancing, and at the age of 9, I started writing music. High school is actually where I wrote and recorded my first song about my pride and my love for my town, which was actually featured in my mayor's campaign. It's called Bruin Country, and the mayor caught onto it. He decided to actually use me in his campaign commercial, live on TV. The video, it was a video online on YouTube. It ended up going viral all around New Jersey. I'm a positive rapper. I stick to positivity when it comes to my lyrics and what I write about in my content. There was a lot of bullying that involved that, but I got a lot of heat from people, you know, saying, who does this kid think he is? And it was scary, but, you know, I got through it.
In watching Tyler develop just as a young man and as a teenager and as an artist, some of the most amazing things to me, I mean, he's very gifted and God has blessed him, but some of the amazing things to me has been how he has handled the pressure of being a positive rapper and being a positive influence in the community, and the bullying and how he overcame the bullying and the bashing, and he just shook it off and kept going.
My mother has always told me that you need to honor God with your talent. It's been an amazing experience being able to honor my God through it, knowing that he gave it to me. Q has always been an influence to my music career. He was the one who first brought me into the studio, and he's a musician as well. He's a producer, and he's also recently taken the role of being my co-manager. He taught me every aspect of how to work in a studio, what to say, how to flip your words, how to put integrity on certain parts of your lyrics.
We'll sit through and listen to maybe 20 different beats or tracks, and then when we select the ones that we want to use, then we'll listen to the song and vibe to it, and then decide on the concept of what the song is going to be about, according to the way the music makes us feel. He's progressed a lot in the past couple of years. When we started doing this seriously, like a lot of times he'll put aside going to hang out because we have a song to do, or we got to go do a show, we got to make a meeting or a photo shoot, and that's something that's very surprising for me.
I'm a producer / singer-songwriter. Tyler's very much like myself. He's a hungry individual. He has passion, he has drive, he's going towards his goal. And as I'm creating, he'll start to write some lyrics, and it just meshes together.
My mom entering me in their Live Your Life campaign project. Now, once she did that, I was selected as a finalist and eventually ended up winning the grand prize, which meant I went to San Francisco and I got to be a featured model for American Eagle. American Eagle Outfitters is helping my organization Fit to Flow raise funds for a musical we are going to put on in my hometown. Fit to Flow is an organization I started. It consists of me and 7 other artists, like models, singers, dancers, actors, writers. And we feel that the youth should have a platform to express themselves through their art. And so that's where we step in. You know, we want to raise funds for these programs. We try to mentor them and help them grow and learn to make a difference as we are trying to do in our community.
I had received a phone call from Tyler and his mother saying, Ms. Wells, we're always going to remember you for what you did, how you taught me how to act. I want to help you out to fund your next show. And I almost hit the floor.
I really didn't know how I was going to go about raising a young boy. The most important thing I can do raising him was, and he held on to this, was showing him that although his father wasn't around, his Heavenly Father was always there. So he's always really had a father.
I think the hardest thing for me growing up was my father leaving when I was very young. It was really hard to get over something of that extent, something to that extent. I've recently brought it to God. He's allowed me to forgive him and just move on from it, you know, because me thinking about it and letting it weigh on me only hurts me in the long run and only holds me back. So I've learned to forgive and forget. I stay connected to God by constantly taking time out of my day to pray and bringing every decision I make to Him. There was one day where I walked into my kitchen and I went into my refrigerator I didn't see anything in there, and that's when your faith has to be the strongest. God put you through the worst of things to bring you to your best, and I just got to praying and believing, and it all came through. And
people are attracted to Tyler because of this love and joy that he brings wherever he goes, and he wants to follow God. And watching him lead people and then seeing all these young men looking at him as an example, as a light, is just the most beautiful thing.
One thing I've always wanted to do in my life is make a difference. Advice I would give to young people struggling is change will come. You know, the world's most beautiful rainbows have come from its worst storm, and God has a plan for everybody. And to develop your faith and make your faith a lot stronger when you come out of it. What has given me the real winning edge in life, I feel, is never giving up. I will never give up on God's plan.
Coming up, her siblings left home, but she worked for a better future.
I'm Allison Felix. Sometimes when I line up for a race and I look around, all the competitors seem pretty big next to me. But that doesn't bother me because I know it's not the size of your stature that matters, it's the size of your heart. The same is true in life. You may feel small in the face of your problems, but it is possible to develop a largeness of character that will see you through anything. The track runner I'm introducing didn't grow up with her biological mom and dad, and this created many challenges. Watch how she found a way to build inner strength and a move in a positive direction with the real winning edge.
She's a tough young lady. And I believe she's tough because just of what she's been through her whole life. She took her background and she's pretty much turned into something that she said, well, I can go through that all those years. Doing a track workout is nothing. In every track meet, she had this certain demeanor about her that I would not be denied. As far as her training schedule, she probably had the longest day out of any athlete we have in our program, you know, because she competed in so many events. She just come out here like she's out here now throwing a javelin. She working on a shot, she working on a long jump, she working on hurdle technique, and that's not even counting working on strength training. It takes a special individual to do the heptathlon, but she have that unique gift. She have a high level of pain tolerance, and that's what you have to have at this level to compete in that many events.
I compete in the heptathlon, which consists of 7 events: the high jump, long jump, shot put, javelin, 800, 200 meters, and 100-meter hurdles. I also do the 400-meter hurdles, and then 4x4 relays and whatever else they need me in.
He is someone who wants to do well, but she also wants you to do well too. Like, she'll support you 100%, even if she doesn't have the best day. And she feels good when her teammates all do well.
She rather go to her teammates one-on-one to encourage them that they will get better. Because they'll listen to her sometimes before they listen to me because she's a living testimony. She displays some type of leadership every day. You know, she'll make sure the kids warm up on time. She'll make sure the athletes are here on time at practice. I'll never forget, she said, if you work hard at something, something good has to come out of it. So the group worked hard, they followed her lead, and I want to say it was the Pac-10 championships. We wound up getting third, and a lot of it just came down to the faith and the leadership that Shaquille showed at this particular championship last year down at U of A.
My mother was an alcoholic. She drank a lot. My mom had left the house, and the next people we saw were the police. They came, and next thing you know, we were in foster care, and we were, you know, with another family. The first family I was placed with was also in Detroit. We called them Gran and Granddad. It was our family, you know, and we enjoyed it, and it basically just ended when we got adopted. It's when our life basically changed. The discipline that my parents often put on us was often overbearing. There were just a lot of different experiences that made it hard to want to even stay in the home. My 2 brothers, they both became very rebellious. They started stealing, and they ended up going to boarding school and being in juvenile detention centers, so I ended up being the only one home. And although I wanted to rebel, I wanted to do other things, I always stayed in the house and I always stuck it out. A lot of times when I was just really down and upset and angry, there really was nothing else I could do but pray. I'd cry my eyes out at night, but I find myself praying. Hopefully things will get better. Although I was very angry, I knew that taking it out on other people really wasn't gonna help anything. And I did have track as my outlet. You know, just knowing that everything happens for a reason and keeping faith in God, knowing that everything will work out, really kept me, you know, together. Well, my major is family and human development. And with that, I want to go on to continue to help families and maybe do some type of social work where I can help families. If I had to give advice to young people who maybe felt like they had no one to lean to, I would let them know that there's always somebody you can go to. There's always somebody older and wiser who can probably help you.
I think because of things that I've gone through, I'm just easier to react in an angry manner, but I have gotten better at it. Prayer does get me through some stuff, you know, it automatically puts me in a more calm manner.
I believe that it was in God's plan to have me go through what I've gone through, because everything does happen for a reason, I think. Because of what I've been through and experienced, that it's for me to go on and help someone else, and I believe that God had a plan for me to do that.
Don't miss next week on The Real Winning Edge and see how real teens deal with the challenges of recovering from a broken neck, being bullied, and surviving cancer. Our celebrity introducers will be Tim Howard, Jessica Rivera, and Jeremy Sieverts. If you'd like to order copies of the program or our youth study program, log on to our website, realwinningedge.com. If you have comments or suggestions for profilees, write us at info@challengerfilms.org or friend us on Facebook. And as always, may you have the real winning edge over life's challenges.